Coming to you live from the Elliott Avenue Studios, this is The Barbershop. Brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail, the official auto detail provider of the Seattle Seahawks. And by the Trufant Family Foundation, an organization aimed at improving the community one kid at a time. With Marcus Trufant, here's T. Holla.
What's up, everybody out there? It's The Barbershop Show live on Sports Radio 950 KJR. My name is T. Holla.
And yes, it is Marcus Trufant.
And once, you put the extra tunt on there.
Yeah.
That was solid and strong, Marcus.
Hey, baby, I'm smooth. That's how I roll, nice and smooth.
Welcome to the show. We are coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino, just like we do every Wednesday that the Seahawks have a home game. Seattle's closest casino, the Above It All experience. If you guys have not been down here, you need to get down here ASAP. You need to get down here when we're down here because we bring the fun to the casino. And it's tough to bring the fun to the casino because the fun is already here normally.
Hey, man, it's already going down, man. I'm hearing cha-ching, cha-ching all throughout this thing.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack. It's going down. Hey, we got an incredible show lined up here for you guys. Make sure you stay tuned. Everybody knows, like we always do, it's Hump Day. But I tell you what else it is, True. There's a number of different things we're going to be celebrating here tonight, man. So I just want to make sure. I know I like to surprise you with things from time to time.
Yeah, if the listeners can see how I'm looking at you right now, you ain't tell me this one.
You're looking like I stole something. Right. It ain't going to be crazy. But there's things that I think our listeners aren't privy to that I want to hip them to. And today, for one, number one, you know what today is, right?
Not an extravaganza, right?
It's not unfortunately, it's not an extravaganza. It is Hump Day.
Hump Day, okay.
Which is Barbershop Day, a little bit closer to the weekend, of course. But it is, Nathaniel, can you tell us what day it is? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's the first of the month. You know, the 1st of November, man. Everybody's happy again in here, walking around in the casino. They just got their paycheck.
Yeah.
They come in here to spin it all up, or make up and double it up.
Double it up, baby. You got to flip that thing. You flip it, right?
Definitely so. It's the 1st of the month, November 1st, and you know what that means. Halloween is officially over, so you know what today is. It's International Steal Your Kids Candy Day.
I've been doing that for weeks, brother. There's been like bowls and stuff all around the house, so every time I get up, every time I walk past the kitchen, I grab a Snickers or I grab the M&Ms because I don't do just straight chocolate. It got to be a little peanuts or something in there. So that's how I get down.
This is what I want the ladies and gentlemen out there listening to our show to understand. Marcus Trufant, believe it or not, this guy spent 10 years in the National Football League, one of the most elite athletes you'll ever see, fast, still in great shape, still in great condition, does cross-training, CrossFit, you name it, he does it. Swimming, yoga. This kid eats more candy than anybody I've ever met in my entire life.
Hey, baby, you still got to live. You got to enjoy. You got to be able to live on the edge sometimes. So, I get the sweets. My thing is really the pastries. I got cookies, and you talk about your pies and your cakes and such. That's the thing that gets me.
Yeah, so listen, this is what I want to do. Since today is International Steal Your Kids Candy Day, everybody, you went trick-or-treating with the kids last night. They came home with gobs of candy, bags and suitcases and pillowcases full of candy. Buku candy. I want to know, True, from you, since you are the connoisseur.
Okay.
What is the number one Halloween candy out there? What is the Marcus Trufant go-to candy?
For me?
For you?
For me, just like I said, T, it's those chocolates with the accent of the peanut.
Look. You got to get off the fence tonight, True.
No. I'm just breaking it down. Okay. So I guess I'll just have to go Snickers, but not the large Snickers. I'm going to go with the minis because it's just enough.
You want to eat the whole thing.
Just enough to keep you going, though, because the large size, you can kind of get a gluttonous. Is that a word?
You're incorrect right there.
So the mini, I think that just gives you a little
taste.
A little taste.
So it's not like you're dealing it. You just want to taste.
Just want to taste, baby. Just a little taste.
All right, so that's the question for the night. This is the Barbershop poll question. Ladies and gentlemen, hit us up. 49451. I want to know, since it's International Steal Your Candy Day, what is the number one Halloween candy out there? I've been watching all these polls for the last couple of days, but I don't buy into them. They're not true official Barbershop listeners. It has not been a true official Barbershop poll. So tonight we are doing it. 49451. What is the number one candy for Halloween? The thing that you are stealing from your kids for the next 3 weeks. I want to know what it is. I got my own. I like Reese's peanut butter cups, man. That's my thing, man. My kids come through. If they got that in the bag, I'm snatching it. I'm snatching that, and sometimes it's Kit Kats, man. So we want to hear from you guys what you think it is. Tonight, True, one other thing we are doing, man, is we are going head-to-head battle with the MLB championship game right now. It's not just any regular MLB championship game that's going on right now, True. This is a Game 7 MLB championship game between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Houston Astros. And I got to be honest with you guys out there listening. I got to be honest with you, True. I don't give a damn.
I knew you was going to say that. Come on, man.
I don't care, man. I don't care.
There's a lot of baseball fans out there, man.
There is.
America's game.
And that's why I don't give a damn. And let me explain to you. This is my silent protest. This is my barbershop protest. I'm upset because I go online and I see all of my friends that live in Los Angeles. And they all have the Dodger blue on. They got their hats and they got their jerseys and they got the flags in the front yard. And I look at my friends down in Texas.
Right.
And all the Houston Astros, they're doing it. Man, it's just crazy. And we're here in Seattle. We don't have that, man. We just don't have that feeling when it comes to baseball. That is something we don't know. We've never experienced it. We've never had baseball in October. And it just upsets me, man.
Well, you know what, T? Is that a true statement that we've never had it? I know that it's been a long time
I think we've been in the playoffs once in the history of the Seattle Mariners.
I thought when Griffey and the boys was doing their thing
That's
and the city
once.
was on. All right. Well, that's what I was. It's just one of those things, T. I kind of feel like you. I mean, I know the city's down and we see everybody else having fun, wearing their team's colors. Everybody's celebrating and doing it like that. So I think you just got to find a team to ride with, T.
You mean other than the home team?
Right now, if you don't have a choice, I mean, I say that you could either watch as a fan or you kind of jump on the bandwagon. And
But let me ask you this question.
I'm a bandwagon dude.
I gotta ask you this, Drew. Have you watched? Be honest with you now. Be honest. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Have you watched any of this series? Again, they are saying this is like a series of the millennium.
Right.
They said this is one of the best baseball series that they've ever seen in history.
I've been hearing that exact same thing, T. And, I have watched a little bit of this. Right before I came over here to sit down with you, I was over at the Vista Lounge across the way over there. So I watched a couple pictures over there. So, I'm busy, T. So
You're a busy man. You have children. You have businesses.
I come back and I catch the highlights from time to time, but actually to sit down and watch a full game, I haven't done it. I wish I would. I've been hearing that these games have been off the chart, and I usually do. Towards the end of the baseball season, I catch up during the playoffs. But this year I haven't done it, and I feel pretty bad about it.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. This is the barbershop silent protest. It's not even a silent protest because we talking. And so I want all of our people that are listening right now, we have true diehard barbershop fans or people that listen to our show. And I want to say thank you for choosing us over Game 7 between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Houston Astros, who neither one of those teams mean nothing to us. So this is our protest. This is our message to the upper management at the Seattle Mariners organization. You got to do something. This offseason, you got to go to work. You got to go to town. You got to bring in some talent. You got to go and get some pitchers because this year, obviously, 20 pitchers wasn't enough. We went through pitchers like toilet paper, and we need some help. We need some bats, we need some defense, and we need some pitching. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you guys for listening to us rather than watching the Dodgers and the Houston Astros. Since we're talking about going out there and getting the new team, Mariners organization, they had some big trades that happened in the NFL this week, True.
Okay.
And we're definitely going to talk about some of those tonight. But it was like the trade deadline, for those that don't know, the NFL trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. And I wasn't sure if it was going to go down the way it did. Because over the past couple of years, it's been kind of lackluster. There's not too many blockbuster trades. Teams have been pretty much good with the status quo with what they had. But yesterday, the NFL went nuts. They had like 977 trades yesterday alone. It was crazy. And you look at some of the teams that went nuts. You look at the Patriots. They traded away their backup quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, sent him over to the 49ers, and now he's in San Francisco. And that just pretty much, in my opinion, that lets me know that Tom Brady is going to die in his uniform as a Patriot.
Wow.
He's going to play until he's 712 years old. If you send away his backup quarterback, and they brought in Brian Hoyer from the 49ers.
Right.
And Tom Brady, he said he's going to play until his late 40s.
Well, they try to say that it was a business move with Mr. Garoppolo. Is that how I say it?
Yeah, we just call him Mr. G.
Yeah,
Mr. G.
Jimmy Garoppolo, you're good.
Mr. G!
Garoppolo. Yeah. They said
Jimmy G!
it was more business. They kept him for as long as they could and all this kind of stuff. And but that says a lot about Tom, of course. If you got a guy like Tom Brady and you trade away a backup of that caliber, then you're thinking that that Tom's going to be there. But they, just like everybody keeps saying, it's all about business, man. It definitely comes down to the business. And like me and you are going to talk about later, so I'm going to save some of my comments about the business of the NFL in general. Mm-hmm. I'm going to save that for later. But it's all about the business, man. You could be as good as you want to be, or you could be as sorry as you want to be. The business is always going to outweigh everything.
Mm-hmm. And it's a numbers game. And we look at some of the things that were done around the league outside of that one. That was a big one. Tom Brady is never going to retire. The Eagles, looks like is gearing up to be the Seahawks' #1 opposition when it comes to who's going to really run the NFC for the rest of this season. The Eagles went out and picked up Jay Ajayi from Miami. Mm-hmm. That's a big pickup. But the Seahawks, not to be outdone, went out and snatched up an all-pro offensive tackle by the name of Dwayne Brown. And it's been the topic of conversation not just around Seattle, but around the entire NFL as a power move that John Snyder and Pete Carroll put down, saying, listen, hey, our window is right now. We're coming to take the championship this season, and we're for real. We're not looking for tomorrow. We're not looking for 2 years down the road. We're looking for right now. And we're definitely going to talk about that pickup as the show goes on. Listen, you guys want to stay tuned. This is going to be an incredible show coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino. Coming up next, True and I are going to talk a little college football, those Huskies and Cougs. The college playoff poll just came out yesterday. We're going to discuss how the Cougars and the Huskies fit into that program. Later on in the show, we have the world-renowned restaurateur right out of Seattle, John Howie, going to be joining us here. I hope he came through bringing goodies like he always does, because I'm kind of hungry.
And it's like Christmas, man. I'm expecting a gift when he walks in.
You know what? We can't jump past Christmas. I want to bring this up before we go to commercial, too. Since it's November 1st, the first of the month, we're done with Halloween now. Mm-hmm. It's almost Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, man, because I love to do one thing more than anything else.
That's eat.
So we're going to find out what's up with John Howie later on in the show. Make sure you guys stay tuned. This is The Barbershop coming to you live. Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show, coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino. It's your boy T. Holler. I'm here with Marcus Trufant, and we are going to be rocking with you all the way till 8 o'clock. Thank you for choosing us over baseball, because baseball sucks. Especially when you don't have a dog in the fight, man. We talked about this earlier. I thank you guys again for joining us here on the show. Game 7 of a heated battle. One of the greatest baseball series in history is what they're saying. Tonight you have like all sorts of drama taking place. But we don't care about that, right? Because we are in the barbershop, right, True?
We here, baby, and this is where we going to stay.
Not only is it night time for the barbershop, but we've been asking you guys a question since it is International Steal Your Kids Candy Day, the day after Halloween, where you're pillaging through your kids' candy jars and their sacks full of candy. Which is the first one you go to? What is the #1 candy that you're looking to steal today? True said he's a Snickers, man. Me, I'm a Reese's peanut butter
I forgot
cup.
about Reese's Cup, though. I forgot about it.
So now you're going to switch up on me?
Nah, but I forgot about that one. I usually go to that one, too. But I put them in the refrigerator, like, overnight. Then I come back. I'm one of those guys.
ones.
But Snickers.
Okay.
Snickers,
He's
I'm
still
going to
with
stick
the
with it.
Snickers. I'm still with the Reese's. Even though I do go to the Kit Kat from time to time. In a crunch. Get it? A crunch. I will go to the Kit Kat. Nathaniel is back at the station, man. Nathaniel.
Super producer.
What's up, guys?
You got to throw that on there, huh? Super. What's up with you, man?
Just a regular week, right? Nothing crazy happened in football. Nothing weird, right?
Nah, just a boring week. Nothing happening.
The 49ers don't have a new franchise quarterback or anything.
They really don't.
I guess, is he supposed to be the savior, though?
Yeah.
See, the thing about it is, I think they're gonna bring him in for probably 6 games this season, see what he has, and if he's good, you build a team around him. You have $117 million to spend, and you have a lot of draft picks, and you're really bad right now. So you never know.
You know the problem with True? I gotta tell you the problem. That sometimes when Nathan talks, he always brings up the 49ers, man.
I know.
I thought that's why you were coming to me.
Wait, no. I don't want to know about the
It's in his
49ers.
You see the red hats and
I
stuff?
see
if
the
you come
red
into
hats and the
studio?
red hoodies.
All that crap.
This crap, straight crap.
All right, well, what do you want to know?
I want to know about candy, man. What do you think I want to talk about sports?
Oh, okay. Well, I assumed it's a sports radio station. I like Twix, Snickers, and peanut M&Ms.
You just gonna pick all the candy. I asked you to pick one. You gonna pick all
Those
the
are
candy.
the 3 that I buy, okay?
Gluttonous. We talked about that earlier.
Oh, come
too.
on, says the glutton himself.
Greedy. Hey, listen. I need you to pull up the text board for me, please, and then let us know during the next segment who's winning the International Steal Your Kids Candy Day tour. Candy. What is the number one candy that people are saying out there? 49451. Pull it up. We'll bring it up and talk about it in the next segment. Right now, though, real quick, True.
What's up?
The college football poll came out yesterday. For they're trying to figure out who's going to the playoffs. My Huskies ended up at number 12. I think your Cougars are 25.
Yep, they was 25.
First of all, before we get to the poll, which I want to go on the record and say I wasn't really sure about this whole poll thing at first. I think they kind of got it right. Things went topsy-turvy at the top of the list as opposed to what they were when the AP was just doing it. All season long, Alabama's been number 1, and they look like the juggernaut. But Georgia has knocked them out of the number 1 spot. It's Georgia number 1, Alabama number 2. UW at number 12 has a long, hard road to get into the playoffs. But we'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk about this Cougars game that I watched over the weekend, man. The Washington State Cougars versus the Arizona Wildcats, man. Now, I'll be honest with you. I watched the game, man, from start to finish.
Okay.
I had to take a long shower when I got finished to stop the itching that I got from watching. But, it just, from the start, it didn't look good, True.
And you know what, T? I got to it late. So I want you to tell me a little bit about what was going on with our all-world quarterback, because I didn't see it from the beginning. I got to the game after he was out the game.
He was just off. He didn't seem like his normal self. Now, you're talking about Luke Falk.
Right.
This is a guy that is, by the time it's all said and done, he will be he will hold basically every record in the Pac-12 when it comes to passing. He already has all Wazoo's record. But he looked a little off his game. And they got behind the 8 ball, and your head coach, Mike Leach.
Yes.
I don't even know the word to describe him sometimes, man. He's just eccentric, to say the least. He benched him. He benched Luke Falk in favor of Helinski. And Helinski came in, bro, and started lighting it up, True. And I don't know if that's the time you started watching.
Right. I seen that, but I'm going to just take it back a little bit. So you say that he came in and he was a little off, and I guess he wasn't doing his thing from the beginning. But I know some stuff is just coach talk or just team talk, Everything's a competition, and anybody can be replaced and all that kind of stuff. But most of the time, that doesn't apply to, the starting quarterback. So you talk about Tom Brady. If Tom Brady is having an off first quarter, there's no way that Belichick is going to take him out. And I'm not comparing Luke Falk to Tom Brady, but I'm just saying that's kind of how you got to treat your team. So I'm watching Falk on the sideline. He's kind of pacing back and forth. He's ready to go back into the game. and it was just uncomfortable,
Never
man.
happened.
It was just nasty to look at, and I know that there's no shot at Tyler. Of course, he's a good player, and I think he got a bright future. But you gotta be able to stay with your main guy.
And that's the question I was really going to ask you. It's like at some point when Helinski goes in there, and I'll be honest with you, I watched Helinski go in there, and he was on fire. He got the offense revved up and going. And I think sometimes you need that. You need somebody to come in there and light a spark. And he was that spark. But at some point, you have an all-world quarterback that has been the leader of your team for the last few years.
Yep.
You have to put him back in there at some point. Now, at the end of the game, Helinski ends up throwing for 4 picks?
If not more, yeah. I lost track.
You lose track because
Right.
he's throwing it so much to the team as much as he threw it to his own team. But I sometimes I just don't understand Mike Leach, and I get it. You know, he has his rules, and he's set in certain ways, and he's very particular. I think Mike Leach is he's a great coach, but I think he's a great coach for certain teams, certain organizations, and as good of a coach as he is, I don't think he could successfully make that transition and go to the NFL.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, and I don't think he could go to like a major. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but like a big city or something like that, because he coaches in a very particular way, and I don't think it goes well with every kind of player.
I mean, I would disagree, and I think you could say that about all coaches, that all coaches aren't going to fit all players' style, temperament, and stuff like that. But Mike Leach is he's a different guy, and I think that's good for Pullman as far as mixing things up. But the way you treat a team, and when you want a team to rally behind you and everybody be a part of the team, and this goes for the NFL as well, and we'll talk about this later, and you want guys to be with you, and it's all about the team, and then you see stuff like this, and you're supposed to ride with guys through stuff. And I understand if you're going to have a quarterback thing or you're going to have a two-headed monster, be that. But just don't take your starting guy out and then just kind of have him sitting down for the rest of the game and not knowing.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to me. But as we go to this break, I want to play this for you, True. I don't know if you heard this, but talking about Mike Leach and how sort of different, I'll just say different he is. He had an interesting press conference earlier this week. I'm going to let you get a listen to it, see what you think.
I'm curious about something. I realize you're a very busy man, first of all, but was there any particular reason this teleconference started nearly 40 minutes late?
Yeah, because I had other obligations and I got here 40 minutes late. So, fortunes of war. We're way up north here, and this is a tough place, and so that's the way it happens sometimes. But I hope you feel better accommodated next time.
Okay. I'm curious about, have you decided who your starting quarterback is going to be this coming week?
Well, my. I wasn't 40 minutes late. It sounds like you may have been 40 minutes late. That was the first question I answered in this press conference.
I've been listening, trying to listen very carefully. Did you announce who your quarterback is going to be?
Yes, I did. The very first question in the press conference, and you can go back and review it on the computer.
I'll say this, man. As quirky and weird and eccentric as he is, and sometimes I like, what the hell are you doing, Mike Leach? He never fails to bring a chuckle out of me, True.
Mama. But I feel him, though, and that's what I kind of like about Coach Leach, too, man. He's different, and he stirs it up a little bit. And sometimes I think the young kids need that in their coaching and just the way he goes about business. I don't like what he did to Mr. Falk, and I don't know what was said on the sideline or behind closed doors, so I could be wrong. But from the outside looking in, I didn't like it.
Hey, listen, we're going to follow this as the season progresses and we get closer to this Apple Cup, see how Luke Falk progresses, see how Helinski goes along, and see how Coach Leach goes along. Hey, when we come back, though, after this break, stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. We have world-renowned chef John Howie joining us here live from the Snoqualmie Casino. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Barbershop coming to you on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T. Holla and True. We're coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino, where you can get the above-it-all experience. Make sure the next time you're in the area, stop by. Come say hi to these people. It's an incredible facility that they have down here. Always a good time, True, when we're in the building down here with the folks from Snoqualmie Casino, man.
Oh, yeah, man, it's always a good look, man. And every time we come here, T, I see the cornhole game, and I know we had Donald Watts and Slick Watts in last week, so I'm surprised that they're still playing the game because remember Donald destroyed it, stepped all over the game. I don't know if he was too focused on his coffee or whatever, but we need to apologize. So
we
to the casino, we are sorry for last week.
Yeah, D. Watts came through like Godzilla, stomping on stuff and broke the doggone board, but they got a new one.
Right.
They got a new one. They are well prepared down here. Shout out to the people from Snoqualmie Casino.
Yeah, but you can't keep them down, too.
Yeah. One thing that just happened here, I got to say this out loud on the air for everybody to listen to and hear, because it's a first. This is the first time in history that this has ever happened. Someone came up to the barbershop table here at Snoqualmie Casino, and they were a T. Holla fan. They didn't come up and say, Marcus Trufant, Mr. Trufant, can we... It was T. Holla.
Terry, I listen to you all the time. I just love your voice.
T. Holla, hey, T. Holla life matters. I want to tell y'all guys why that's so important. Because I go with Marcus, as we go everywhere we go. And I don't know if you guys listen to music or not, but if you ever heard of the group called Destiny's Child, there's a lead singer by the name of Beyonce.
Oh,
and everybody wants to see Beyonce all the time, right? She's the star of the show. And then there's Kelly Rowland. She's good. She's a great singer. And any other day, you might want to go see Kelly because she's good. But not when Beyonce's around. So
what you trying to say?
I say Marcus Trufant is Beyonce, and I'm little black Kelly Rowland. I'm poor little black Kelly Rowland in the back singing and stepping. But today I got to be Beyonce for one moment, shining in time. Hey,
man, I'm going to let you shine, T. You got it, brother. It's your world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest joining us here in the barbershop tonight. And he came bearing gifts, as he always does, edible gifts. I really love when I have him on the show, True. It is a world-renowned chef from Sea Star, Beardsley Public House in Bothell, and, of course, the signature John Howie Steakhouse. The one, the only John Howie. Welcome to the barbershop, my man.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Tina.
Hey, we're glad to have you.
Anytime
Anytime we can have you. First of all, before we get into anything, you came bearing gifts. Can you please explain what we have here?
Well, actually, the one you're about to open is the award-winning poke from the Sam Choi Poke Contest, which was held about a month and a half ago. That was the winner. That's got some shrimp, some ahi, little avocado, and then some yuzu tobiko in there, and it's got a yuzu soy garlic dressing. We put a little rice in there for you, too, just to soak up some of that nice stuff. Then, of course, we got a little sushi. We got some California roll. We got some spicy tuna roll. And we got one of our special rolls with ahi and avocado and a little bit of yuzu and some citrus zest on there.
Ooh, True. When's the last time you had some uzu?
Uzu?
Yuzu. Oh, it's yuzu.
See,
Yuzu.
See, we talked about this earlier. Normally, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I don't like this. This is the barbershop. We welcome everybody. We don't like the stereotype, but we'll be honest. A lot of brothers don't eat sushi. But you got the wrong brothers tonight, because
I like sushi.
We
Yeah.
gonna tell
I got the right brothers.
Oh,
Right,
yeah. The right brothers. Yes, sir. Hey, thank you for coming through and bringing us delicious food.
My
We can't wait
pleasure.
to tear it up. But I want to ask you, man, it's been a while since we saw you. First of all, how you been?
I've been good.
Good.
Things are good.
You look good.
Thank you.
The last time I got to see you outside of the poker event, which we'll talk about shortly, I saw you online in a picture with Al Roker. What was going on with Al Roker?
That was actually, what was that? That was at the Super Bowl in Arizona. When the Seahawks were there. It was a competition between myself and the New England chef.
Oh, okay.
And so we had a little competition, and yes, Seattle won again. So.
Yes, absolutely. We won that time. We didn't win on the field.
Well, see, here's the problem. In Detroit, I won. Seahawks lost.
Oh.
In New York, we didn't have the competition because we just didn't do it for some reason. And then in Arizona, I won, Seahawks lost. So when the Seahawks are in Minnesota this year, I'm throwing the cooking contest.
There you go.
I will fall on my sword for the Seahawks.
Thank you. We appreciate
Or fall
that.
on my chef's knife. One of
We
the two,
appreciate
you know?
that. We appreciate that. Hey, so the last time we did get to hang out was earlier this year at your incredible Kick Hunger Poker Tournament at CenturyLink. First of all, it was an incredible event, star-studded, packed the house.
People love that thing.
It was a good time.
It's a lot of fun.
It was
you
a
know?
really good time,
Great
man.
food.
Yes, great food.
Great drinks.
Yep, lots of those.
Lots of
Give us a recap of the event. We want to know who showed up there, who won, how successful
well, you know,
was it?
the funny thing is we had a really great group of celebrities who showed up. You know, you got Gary Payton, one of my buddies from a long time. He showed up, came up for the event. That was awesome. You know, we had you guys there, and Marcus even made it there with, you know, it wasn't a great night for you, I know.
Yeah. Had some family stuff going, but I show up for the show, man. I show up for myself.
Well,
That's
you
my
know,
guy.
we appreciate you doing that. It was awesome, and we had so from the team, I think there was Reese Odiambo, there was George Fant, there was Luke Wilson, there was there was just a bunch of Seahawks
Saw
there.
Lawyer Malloy.
Lawyer Malloy. We
Jordan
had
Babineau.
Walter Jones was going to be there, but he, you know, was still working over the Cortez Kennedy thing. That's tough, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, so some of the guys couldn't make it, but we had a few baseball players. We had some soccer guys. We had a couple of the Rain girls. That were there.
Yeah.
They actually did okay on the
Oh
game.
yeah. Okay.
And
I was scared to play.
Damon
man.
Heward almost. I think he made
Damon
it to,
Heward was
made it
at
to the
my
last
table.
table.
He was at my table.
He's
And here's
a
the
player.
thing. I knocked Damon out.
Did you?
I knocked him out. We went head
Did
to
he buy
head,
back
and
in?
he bought back in and made his way to the final table. So I'm
Yeah.
still a little tender about that.
Well, that's okay. You know, he had to buy back in to do
Yes,
it. So
yes.
that,
But it all-
you know what? That put a lot of meals on people's
I was
tables
about
when
to
he
say,
bought
so
back
it did.
in. So
You guys helped out a lot of families with that event, I'm
exactly.
sure.
It was great.
Well, yeah. So I know this year you have another event going on, and I guess for people who don't know that you're very involved in the community, just like the Barbershop is. It's heavy in the community, heavy dealing with people that are less fortunate.
Yep.
And when it comes to eating and not having food and things like that and not having clothes and stuff like that, it's huge. So everybody that's listening, I know we're going to have some information later to how they can help out and be a part of this year's event. So I'm going to ask you to go into that and just see how people get involved with this year's event.
Yeah. Well, what we got is we have the first annual Taste of the Seahawks. So for the past 14 years, I've been doing Taste of the NFL for the Seahawks. And that's an event that's held at the Super Bowl, the night before the Super Bowl in the city where the game is at. And it's a great deal. There's 32 teams with chefs there and players there. And, you know, we put out a lot of food. So we're kind of doing the same thing here. So we have 22 different restaurants that are coming in. Some of the top restaurants in the city. You know, John Howie Steak's going to be there. We got El Gaucho.
Nice.
We got Tom Douglas coming in with one of his restaurants. Josh Henderson with Westward. We've got a bunch of great restaurants. Din Tai Fung. We've got everybody covered there. And then you've got 20 craft distilleries there, including
boy.
mine.
Including yours, right.
Wildwood Spirits Company.
Sign me up.
Yeah, so, you know, there's whiskey tasting, there's cocktails. We've got 12 wineries, including Damon's Winery, Passing Time.
Right.
So Damon Heward's winery was a great winery he did with
Very
Dan
good.
Marino.
Dan Marino,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And then we've got a bunch of other great wineries, and then 14 breweries. And then Craig Terrell's coming back.
Wow.
Craig Terrell.
And
All right,
Craig's gonna, you know, his band is gonna
Right,
play
yeah.
again. So we got the band, and everything is included. Once you get inside, it's one price ticket, and you can go to all 22 restaurants. You can go to all 20 distilleries. Well, maybe.
Wow.
You can go to the wineries, the breweries, and the band. And then we've got some really great silent auction items. Every one of the distilleries, breweries, wineries, restaurants, they all donated something as well.
Oh, wow.
So all those items are out there. And then, of course, we got some memorabilia from the Seahawks. And then, of course, we got current players and legend players from the Seahawks coming in. And we got you guys coming, right?
Yes.
And I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Be in
yeah, you got the barbershop guys and old guys
Exactly.
like myself that used to play. So it sounds like a very good event. And the proceeds, I want to get pretty heavy on that. It's just so people can understand and know exactly who you're helping and what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, we've actually got 2 beneficiaries that night. So the first one is the Kick Hunger Challenge, which is what we're trying to win again for the Seahawks. We've done it 3 out of 5 years, second place the other 2. We don't like being second place.
Right.
Never.
Nobody likes being second place. Right?
Second is the first loser, right?
Exactly. I'm going there. So we're gonna do a great job with this one and bring in a lot of money, but it's for Food Lifeline is where the money actually ends up going, and that helps them buy meals for people in Washington State. All the money stays local, and you get 4 meals for every dollar we raise. So back from the poker party, we got 210,000 meals out of that poker party.
Wow. That's amazing.
That is a
That's
lot,
incredible. Yeah.
And we hope to do even better here on this event, on the Taste of the Seahawks, and deliver some more. And we're shooting for 1 million meals overall. We got one more event we'll do before the Super Bowl. But, it's going to be a great thing. And then this time we partnered with John and Tracy Snyder, so the GM of the Seahawks, and they've got Ben's Fund. Their son is Ben, and he's got a form of autism, so he's in the autism spectrum is what they say. And Ben's Fund helps families who talk to them about get funded at $1,000 at a time, and they help them with things that they might need just to provide a better life for their family and for their children who have the autism spectrum. So it's really a cool 2 different kinds of charitable organizations that we're working with this time.
That is really awesome, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to the Barbershop Show. We are here with world-renowned chef John Howie, and we're talking about his event, the Taste of the Seahawks, that's going to be taking place at the Delta Sky Club at CenturyLink Field on Monday, November 13th, 2017. It's a spectacular event. All kind of, what'd you say, 22 restaurants?
22 restaurants, over 50 different beverage suppliers, and it's at the entire club level. We're taking over the whole thing.
Right.
Wow.
You get the band too. Monday night football game will be on, and the reason we did it that Monday night is because the Seahawks play on Thursday before that.
Gotcha.
They play in Arizona, so a lot of the guys have that night off so they can come out and help and participate, and that's why we chose that night.
That is so awesome. We can't be more excited to go out there and be involved with that event. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get involved with this, go to I hate to do this when I do websites. I always say www.
You just say universe.com.
I'm going to do that. But I'm old school, man.
www.
I'm going to go to HTTP. No. Go to universe.com/taste of these Seahawks. Again, universe.com/taste of the Seahawks. And you can find out more information to get your tickets. And the Barbershop actually has a special.
Yep.
Everybody out there listening right now.
Special deal for them.
Special deal for you guys.
Tickets are $150 a piece, and you're getting a lot for the $150.
Absolutely,
you get your entertainment, you get all your food, you get all your drinks.
It's a steal.
It's really a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And then a great opportunity to mingle with some interesting people, whether it's the Seahawks or other celebrities. We've got other celebrities coming in as well. But if you put in Barbershop, all caps, when you purchase these tickets, you're going to get $25 off. So it's $125.
Friends of the Barbershop, listen
exactly.
up.
Listen, there are fringe benefits.
It pays to listen to the Barbershop.
Listen, that is why you are not tuned in to baseball right now, because you're tuned in to getting that special deal from our friend Chef John Howie. Again, it's all going down on Monday, November 13th, 2017, the Taste of the Seahawks event. Go to universe.com/taste of the Seahawks to get more information and buy your tickets now. Help out your community. All for a good cause, all for a good time. Chef, go ahead.
Each ticket, 500 meals.
500.
Each ticket, 500 meals.
That is amazing.
Isn't that great?
That's
You got to keep
amazing.
saying that
And
for the
keeping
rest of the show.
Yeah.
Each ticket gets 500 meals.
meals.
That is huge.
That is
And a
huge.
lot of these meals go to kids that, they just don't have anywhere to go get a meal
Right.
other than school sometimes. And
Right.
so a lot of them go to the kids. So
That's heavy, man.
We are pumped up about it. We'll definitely let our listeners know all the way leading up to the event, and we'll have it on our Facebook page and our Twitter page. So hit up our Twitter page, Barbershop Show _. You'll find the information there. The link will be put up there as well. And Chef John Howie, we're definitely glad that you came through and blessed us with this sushi and this poke, man.
Well, thanks, guys. And just one last thing. We couldn't do this without some sponsors.
Right.
So I want to say
Yeah,
thank
please.
you to Microsoft for being a major sponsor in this event. We've got Cisco Foods, Safeway, really great people that are helping us out to be able to bring this to everybody at this price. So
All right, perfect. Thank you, Chef John. Hey, we got to have you back on here, right?
my pleasure. Thanks for
Always
having me.
welcome in the Barbershop. Again, that's universe.com /taste of the Seahawks. And if you type in Barbershop in all caps when you go in to buy your ticket, you're going to get $25 off. An incredible deal, helping out your community, all for a good cause, and definitely a good time. Come say hi to me and True when you come out there.
Come say what's up, man. And just that, it's going to be a room full of people that love the community. And that's what I love about events like this, that you get with like-minded people that want to make a difference. So it's huge, man. You never know who you might meet and where it's going to go.
It's going to be a good time. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Seattle Seahawks and where they stand right now, their acquisitions that they took on this week, and what we look like heading forward into the rest of this season. It's the Barbershop coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T. Holler and True coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino, where we are at every single Wednesday before a Seahawks home game. It's always a festive environment here. Down here throwing the bean bags right in front of our table. True and I have tried our hand at it occasionally. I tried it actually last week at the Snoqualmie Casino has a booth at Touchdown City at the Seahawks game, and Marcus and I were down there this past weekend, and we tried our hand at the beanbag toss down there. And
I got one in. I made a jump shot.
I made a couple. I made like 3 in a row, man. I was really like I'll be honest with you. I'm usually terrible at stuff like that. I have a terrible arm. I can't throw.
You made 3 in a row, T.
I made 3 in a row. Oh,
I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking, so I don't know, man. You like to tell a good story, brother.
Hey, whenever I ever told you a story that was not true.
Just like he used to skateboard, used to play hockey, and all this other stuff. I wasn't there, so there ain't no proof, but.
You saw the pictures, man. You saw the pictures. Hey, we want to give a shout-out to our friend, Chef John Howie, for joining us in the last segment. We appreciate him and everything he does, not just for the barbershop, but for the community at large. He has an event coming up on November the 13th, and we want to make sure you guys get the information on how to get the ticket. Go to universe.com/Taste of the Seahawks to get information and tickets for his incredible event that's taking place at the Sky Club at CenturyLink Field, again, on November 13th. And if you put in the access code Barbershop in all caps, you're going to get $25 off your ticket. So, again, shout out to Chef John Howie for putting that together, and we look forward to being there. Go to our Twitter page, Barbershop Show _. We're going to have the link up there for you guys as well. True, I'm looking forward to this one, man. It's going to be big.
Yeah, it's going to be a good event, man. And like I said, while Mr. Howie was here, man, it's good to get in the room with people that like to give back to the community, man. It's just something about just all the energy that's in the room for all the people that want to do positive stuff in the community. It's just great to be involved with people like that. So I love, as a matter of fact, going to charity events like this, because you help so many people and you meet so many people that got just a positive mindset.
Right. And it's going to be another exciting night at CenturyLink Field. Speaking about exciting times at CenturyLink Field, True, I got to ask you this question. I've talked to a lot of people over the past week, Seahawks fans, people who don't really care about football that much, people who just happen to catch the game on TV. The last Sunday's game versus the Houston Texans was one of the most amazing, exciting regular season football games that I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know. I want to ask you, do you feel the same way? Because I sat next to you the entire time, and we talked all the way through the game. But there was a lot of talking going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a good game, T, and I thought a lot of people that we were around, as a matter of fact, and I had to break it down for y'all, was talking about the defense, the things that were going on. Oh, this guy is getting burned, or he's not having a good game. Yeah,
we talked about Richard Sherman.
They were referring to Richard Sherman, but I said, as a defensive back, and you got to say this, Sherman, usually every game, he gets 1 or 2 passes thrown his way. And most of the time, they're either going out of bounds or they're throwing the ball in the dirt, or if they do get a catch, it's a 12-yard catch or something like that, and he never gets another pass his way for the rest of the game. But this game, he was getting a little work going against Watkins. Deshaun Watkins. Watson. Sorry, but
say that man's name up like that.
But I'm saying that he's a big-time player, man, and you're going against a team that has no fear. So as a defensive back, there is some plays or some passes that there's no defense for. If the ball is thrown correctly and the wide receiver runs the perfect route, it's always going to be a catch. So there were some completions, and I know that he had a lot of yards, so I know that's going to be your next thing. He had 1,000 yards, and he had this many touchdowns or whatever.
He did.
But I still feel like Sherm had a good game.
Listen,
Sherm comes out, he gets interceptions, and he's making tackles and doing that kind of stuff. We're used to seeing Sherm shut everything down, no catches, or maybe get 1 or 2 balls a game. In this game, they threw at him a little bit, so you got to go with the odds.
I'm going to tell you what happened. And again, I won't say I was giving them a hard time. I was just debating with you. Friendly debate as the game was going on. Richard was getting at work a little bit. Earl got to work early. He bid on a play-action pass, and he was the one, like, as soon as the ball was thrown, you saw Earl taking responsibility for it. I think this is, and in hindsight, after it was all said and done, I went back and watched the tape. And I kind of tried to put together what happened to those guys out there. Mm-hmm. And this is my opinion on what happened. You got a young guy like Deshaun Watson. The guy has been a stud everywhere he's been along the lines. In high school, he was an All-American. He goes to Clemson. He's a consensus All-American. He wins the Davey O'Brien Award 2 years running, which is the best quarterback in the country. He wins a national championship. He's just been a winner, and he's been a first-round draft pick. Everywhere he's gone, he's never been afraid of anyone, right?
Right.
So he comes out here against one of the all-time greatest defenses in the National Football League history, and he does not give a damn. He's going to throw the ball. He doesn't care. Like, I think I call it I always talk about the blessed and the cursed. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care who's out there, right?
Right.
So in the beginning of the game, he's chucking the ball all over the place where a veteran quarterback would look over there and say, that's Richard Sherman over there. I'm not going to try to fit this ball in that little window.
Right.
I'm not going to try to throw the ball over the middle where Earl Thomas is. He doesn't care. So the first few times, those guys got burnt. Like you said, it's the NFL. Guys make plays, and sometimes great defensive backs get burnt.
They get beat on the play.
They get burnt. No, they get burnt, true. But this is what happens. You have great players like Richard Sherman, who may go down as the greatest of all time at his position. Mm-hmm. Earl Thomas, who will definitely go down as one of the greatest at all time. You can try them a couple times as a young quarterback.
Right.
But in the end, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
They're going to get you. And that's what ended up happening. Sherman ended up taking a pick. Earl got a pick 6.
To the crib.
The defense bend but didn't break. It was just unreal. The defense, they're good. They're not even good. They're great. They're one of the all-time greatest defenses ever. True. I want to talk about the offense, though, real quick before we get out of here. Russell Wilson had one of the greatest performances I've ever seen of a quarterback live and in person that I was able to see. Russell had 4 – listen to this, too. I don't know if you know this. And, again, it's tough because we come in on a Wednesday, and everybody's had a chance to talk about it and analyze it and dissect it. But this deserves to be talked about, True. Russell Wilson had 482 yards in this game. Mm-hmm. The Seattle Seahawks offense had 479 yards. How in the world does Russell Wilson have more yards than the entire Seahawks offense? It's just an amazing display and a testament to the fact that he is an elite quarterback. And I know a lot of people have been giving him a hard time since he's been here, saying, he's not elite. He's a second-tier quarterback. He can't see over his offensive lineman. He scrambles too much. He's a game manager. No, he's an elite quarterback, True.
Yes, he's definitely an elite quarterback, and you got some wide receivers that are stepping up to the plate and being able to make plays for him, like Paul Richardson, which I think this is his coming out party.
Yes, I agree.
He's been injured. He's been hurt. And he's been slowed down, but now that he's got his stride, he's playing in more games, and he is stepping up and making the most of his opportunity, and that's what the NFL is about. You take the opportunity you get, and you got to make the most of it. And this young man is out there balling, man. He's making big-time catches, and he's showing it doesn't matter, if you're not on swole, if you can't bench the 225 100 times.
Are you trying to say he's skinny?
I'm saying he's a little thin, but that's cool. That's cool.
He's a playmaker.
He's thin, but he's fast, and he's going up to get the ball at the highest point. He's getting open. He's getting separation, so I'm going to ride with a guy like that every time.
What about Jimmy Graham? Jimmy Graham?
Jimmy Graham is doing his thing as well. A lot of people be all over Jimmy Graham.
Yes.
I haven't been one of those guys. I've been riding with Jimmy Graham from the beginning. I know that it's hasn't been pretty all the time. It's a work in progress.
Just curious, why have you been so down with Jimmy from the beginning, regardless of what? And I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. I'm just saying why.
I just like Jimmy, man. I like what he brings to the team. I like the matchup element that the opposing defenses have to prepare for. So they have to take time away from Russ. They got to take time away from Paul Richardson, and they got to think of ways to cover Jimmy Graham. And there's always a chance that he can have a breakout game. So I like what he brings to this team.
You know what's funny is I've been giving him a hard time all season, and a little bit last season as well.
Hating.
It wasn't hating. Here's the problem. Everything that you just said about Jimmy Graham, I feel the exact same way.
Right.
I think he's a matchup problem for anybody in the league. If you're a defensive back or you're a small, quick guy and you're trying to cover him, he's going to tower over you and block you out from catching the ball. If you're a big linebacker trying to cover him on the inside, he's going to run past you and jump over you. He's a matchup problem for every team in the National Football League. My problem is, why haven't we seen it? Why haven't we been able to utilize it? And if we haven't been able to utilize him in that fashion over the last couple of years, why is he here? That was the only question I had. That being said, after Sunday, I would say Jimmy Graham has solidified himself as a Seattle Seahawk, not only for the remainder of the season, but I think they try to find a way to negotiate and sign him again next year. He's, to me, that much of a weapon in the Seattle Seahawks offense arsenal that you can't afford to let him go at this point.
But he's always been a weapon, T. It just comes down
to – They just haven't used him.
Yeah, well, it just comes down to making it work and executing on those plays. And there's several things that go into it as far as the running game, I think, because you got to be able to get them open, play action and stuff like that. If the running game isn't working exactly like it's supposed to, that affects it. And I actually think that early on, I think Jimmy Graham may have had some injuries that, weren't being talked about. I don't think he was moving as well as I've seen him move in the past. So, but just like I said, I've always been down with the man, so I'm going to stay down with him.
All right. Well, you spoke about the running game a little bit there, and I want to talk about a big acquisition that the Seahawks had this week. They went out and picked up an offensive lineman, left tackle from the Houston Texans, Dwayne Brown. This guy is a Pro Bowl caliber guy. He's been to a few Pro Bowls. He's just a big, menacing figure, and he's very talented. What does this move mean to you when you look at that offense?
Well, I think that it gives us a chance, T. I've never been one to jump to conclusions before you see stuff on the field. I know this man brings a lot of pride. He brings a lot of talent, and he brings a lot to this O-line. So I think it gives us something to work with. And I just want to see us use it properly. And you talked about with Jimmy Graham and how we didn't execute things and things really haven't worked out. So I don't want to see that for the O-line. I want to see them come in. I want to see them work the plan, put the game plan together. And I would love to see it succeed, but I want to wait and I want to see it happen.
Yeah, I've been listening to some of the experts out there, the pundits, the people that, know football so well. And, they've talked about how this move right here really solidifies the Seahawks as the number one contender in the NFC, like the team to beat. And now, while I want to feel that as somebody who really supports the 12s here and supports the Seahawks here, I want to believe that. I believe this team is really awesome, man. Like I said before, the defense is out of this world. It's a once-in-a-generation type of defense. Russell Wilson is a once-in-a-generation type of quarterback. Our receivers are proving themselves every single week to be in the upper echelon of all the receivers that are out there. The running game and the offensive line has just been abysmal this entire season. But the experts are saying that bringing in this one guy is going to change everything for the Seahawks. And I just, personally, I hope it works out.
Right.
I think you can't do, and I know it's going to sound terrible for me to say this, but you can't do much worse than they've been doing.
Snaps.
I mean, think about it. The guy that started running back for us in the last game versus the Texans had -1 yards.
Okay.
I mean, that's our starting running back, right?
But we won.
We did win.
Yeah.
But how far can you go in this league without having a running game?
Right.
I mean,
well, I'll
just
tell
to
you
be a
this,
one-headed
T.
monster.
I'll tell you this, T. It's hard to do, and it makes it a lot harder. Every team in the NFL, they wish that they could have a balanced attack.
Right.
They wish their running game would flourish, and they wish their passing game would flourish, and they would be able to play action teams to death and just make it happen. But it's not always going to be like that. And that's when you need to have your big playmakers, Paul Richardson, Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham, people like that step up, and that's what you do, man. During the game, you make changes on the fly, and I think that's how we work, and your defense has to show up. Our defense showed up, and they got interceptions, and they gave the ball back to the offense. But going back to the offensive line, I think our offensive line has been doing okay, not so much showing in the running game, but more the passing game I'm talking about. So a lot of people are talking about the Hawks and the offensive line is terrible, but they're showing up and they're giving Russell a little bit of time, and you wouldn't see plays like Paul Richardson making plays if the offensive line wasn't doing somewhat of a good job. So for me personally, again, I say I've been riding with the O-line. It hasn't been perfect, but, I guess you could call me a homer, ex-player, blah, 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 that I'm going to keep riding with these guys. But I see the positive, and I know that some of this stuff is a work in progress. I know fans, everybody gets fed up. General managers get fed up. Coaches, they trade people, they cut people, but sometimes you just got to ride with it. So I hope that the new offensive lineman comes in, makes a change, not just for himself, but encourages everybody else around him to kind of up the play.
The Seahawks are definitely on the upswing. I feel good about that. We're going to talk more about the Seahawks when we come back because I do really feel they're on the upswing. I really feel good about the new pickup with Dwayne Brown. I feel it's going to bring some fire to that offensive line. We're going to talk more about that and see what these guys look like this coming up week. They got a big game in the clink. We're going to talk about it here in the Barbershop. Coming to you live from Snoqualmie Casino. It's the Barbershop on Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Now back to the Barbershop, brought to you by Trufant Auto Detail and by the Trufant Family Foundation on Seattle Sports Radio 950 KJR.
Welcome back to the Barbershop Show here on Sports Radio 950 KJR. It's T and True hanging out at Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's closest casino, and we have been talking about these Seattle Seahawks, your Seattle Seahawks. And last weekend, we were able to watch live and in person one of the most exciting games that I've ever seen in my life, a regular season football game for sure. The Seahawks in just a nail biter where Russell Wilson came back at the end and pulled off one of the great come-behind victories of all time, Seattle history, man. And True and I have been very upbeat about this team, man, and their prospects for the future and the fact that they went out and got a great offensive lineman, Pro Bowler, and Dwayne Brown to help solidify that offensive line right now. But sometimes you need a little voice of dissension, True.
Okay.
To kind of bring you down to earth. And, we, from time to time, reach out to my partner. His name is Harry. And he always helps to bring us back down to earth. Sometimes he's kind of unrealistic with his viewpoint. But I think we should hear from him tonight, man. And I know my man Nathan over there at the studio has some theme music for him, man. The hater is in the house. Hating ass Harry, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah, what's up, Mike? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, man. Were you able to check out that Seahawks game this weekend?
Oh man, I ain't gonna lie. That was one of the best games I've seen so far this year.
And you were cool with the Seahawks winning and everything.
No, I'm just cool that we got to see a good NFL game, But hey, the LOB got molested by a rookie quarterback.
Oh, hate. You got a rookie quarterback, but he's good.
Oh, he's great. He's great, but he exposed the LOB for what they really are.
Which is what, hating ass Harry?
They're a bunch of old players, that can't cover nobody. Hey, your boy Sherman got smoked. He got burnt once again. Hey, True, you might as well just go out there and play again, bro.
Oh,
hey.
Well, let me ask you this, Harry. So you say Sherman was getting burnt. Is it more the number of catches or is it touchdowns, or what are you saying? Because I said that he played against another good receiver and he made some plays, and Sherman did get a couple of interceptions, and that's what a defender is supposed to do. You can't stop every play. So I don't understand why.
I will hope he got an interception. He's playing against a baby, man. Come on, man.
Baby.
He's a youngster.
That'll lead the NFL, though. The baby is leading the NFL in offense, so he's doing this to everybody now. So you can't just point the finger at the Seahawks, brother.
Hey, man, let's move along because they already got exposed. Hey, let's talk about this new acquisition that you guys got, man.
Dwayne Brown. What do you think about that pickup of Dwayne Brown?
Let's talking about this AARP member, man. You know what I'm saying? Why do you guys always pick up the oldest players and get so pumped up about it? I don't understand that. Dude is what, 30 years old, you know, and he was on a holdout for about half the season. You know, you think he could just come in and protect Russell?
I mean, he got fresh legs.
Russell, fresh legs.
Fresh legs. He sat out half the season, so he's fresh.
Hey, True, you played in the league, bro. You can't just sit out in NFL games like that and say you just come in with fresh legs and do something. Man,
and he played the whole game, last game, too. Fresh off the street.
And that's true, but he knew that he was leaving, so he didn't give his best effort in that game.
Hey, Harry, before we let you go, man, I know we had a short time this week, but we're going to get you back on next week. Before we let you go, they are saying that the Seahawks are the team to beat in the NFC and really in the NFL. What's your take on that, man?
Yeah, I think they're the team to beat in the NFC. I mean, there's really nobody there to compete with them other than, you know, the Rams in their division. But I think, you know, they're going to have problems with, you know, Minnesota coming. They're on their tail. You have, you know, the Panthers being the Panthers, and then you have the Eagles. You know, so I think if they could beat the Rams, you know, I think they have a chance to go to do big things. You know, maybe go to the Super Bowl. But if they get exposed by the Rams,
Harry's changed his tune, huh?
No, hey, I'm a realist, man. I hate, but I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying?
A hating ass realist. Hey, listen, Harry. Hey, listen. We wish we had more time. We're gonna call you next week after the game, and we're gonna figure out what you thought about how they played next Sunday. You good with that?
Oh, for sure. I'm here.
Yeah, practice your hating all week, bro. We'll be at you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Hating Ass Harry. We're going to tune in with him next week to figure out what he got to hate on. In the meantime, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us, choosing us over Game 7 of the MLB pennant game. We appreciate that very much. And we appreciate our friends here at Snoqualmie Casino for hanging out with us, and John Howie for coming up and bringing Marcus and I, two brothers, some raw sushi from C-Star. Again, appreciate you guys. We'll check you next Wednesday. It's The Barbershop on Sports Radio 950 KJR.